I don't know if you've listened to any of the interviews, but it's pretty chill.
Yes, I've listened to some of them, and you have them all like structured out really well. So
thank you. I'm so pleased you said that. No one has ever commented on that before, but I really like it. I need that structure.
See, yeah. Okay, I think we're on same wavelengths in our brain. We need it. I need that type of structure. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, I think so too, and that is actually the answer. Of why I actually reached out to you. But before we get on to that, let me do the introduction and we will start recording. Hello and welcome to the Solo Role Players Podcast. I'm your host, PJ, and today on the show, I'm very excited to bring you a newer content creator and certainly newer to me from Maia's solo room. Maia, welcome to the Solo Role Players Podcast.
Hi, thanks for having me. My name is pronounced Maia.
Maia. I'm sorry. But thank you for correcting me. I even see it. It is phonetically written out in your name here, Maia. And of course, I looked at that and thought, yeah, I know how to pronounce that.
I got this.
Yeah.
No, yes. It's fine. It's fine. I usually, it'll happen until I die.
Yeah.
And so I used to get mad when I was like 10 years old. And then I had like a Buddha moment or something when I was like 12. And I was like, I'm not going to get mad over this anymore.
Zen at 12. That's
I was like sixth grade.
Yeah.
Out in the playground, just like, I'm not gonna get mad.
And the rest of your life followed.
Yes, and then here we are. So you're good. You're good.
Fantastic. We already started the conversation in the green room before hitting the record button. Mm-hmm. I do want to come back to what we were talking about. You asked me a question. You can ask me that again in a minute. But first, before we lose the thread of things, I do like to start these interviews or chats, as they may be, hearing a little bit about your story of how you discovered RPGs in the first place, because everyone has a bit of a story.
Yeah. Mine is that I discovered it later in life. Well, I mean, relative to my age. So I found, is this audio only?
This is audio, yeah.
Only? Okay. So you guys can't see me, but I am 72 years old. I
look amazing for 72, I must say.
You.
Like, whatever you're seeing, that Zen Buddha moment at 12, it really,
But yeah, so I found TTRPGs in March of 2023. And
that's specific.
Yeah. I won't forget it. It was a very good moment. It was one of those, companies will sometimes fly everybody out to a certain state, and then we'll have like a type of conference, and then there are different activities you can do in the evening. And so one person was hosting a D&D game, and I was like, okay, I've always heard of this. Let me just give it a shot. Let me just try it out. I was given a pre-gen, had no idea what was going on. It was very handholdy. There was like 7 of us. He just like let everybody play, and I didn't know if that was a good enough. I had no idea what any of this was. And so I just played, and then I had to go. I think I rolled a D20 right before I left. I was like standing up and leaving, and then I rolled, and then everybody cheered. And I was like, I don't know what that means. I gotta go. I was like, now I'm thinking back, I'm like, maybe it was a nat 20, but like everybody was excited. And then I just remember having such a good time. And so then I found out that you could play online. Like there are games online. I was like, okay, cool. And then I accidentally found a Pathfinder game because I was just trying to find a game. I didn't know about TTRPGs. So found Pathfinder. And then pretty quickly realized that those are too crunchy for me. And I was like, oh, I need something else. Then I found City of Mist, which is very narrative forward, like urban fantasy type mythological noir mystery game. And then the rest is history. I've tried 50 plus systems at this point. So yeah.
Awesome. That is fantastic to hear. Just to go back one step, though, you said that you had always heard of this thing, so you had some awareness of D&D, at least somewhere in the ether. Is that right?
It was very lightly. I honestly, I think it was because of Stranger Things.
I was
just like me, and it was only because I was just like, at the time I was just watching kids play a game in the basement. I thought it was just part of the story, and I knew it was D&D, but I never looked into it. Like it was just part of the show, and that was it. Like we were separated. And so from that moment, I've heard about it. It wasn't a thing of like me hearing about it when I was 10, and then again when I was 15, and then again, like it was because of Stranger Things. Whenever that show started, I don't know, like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something. And then, yeah, that's it. And then many years later, I just I was like, hey, let me give it a shot. And I talk about this now because I think it's very unfortunate that I didn't learn about it sooner. And it might be a
Yeah.
cultural thing because I'm like the biggest nerd. Like in junior high, I read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I'm like, I feel like D&D is based off of these things. And how could the game never come into like my space?
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate because I love it now. And I'm like
Yeah.
hyper fixated in this space now. But I just found it like just 2-3 years ago.
That's interesting that you say it could be a cultural thing as well, because you're in the States, I assume.
When I say cultural, I do mean Black culture.
Ah, okay. Ah,
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was
And I
going
was
to say...
talking to another Black creator, and I was like, "Is it a culture?" And she was like, "I think it is.
Yeah,
I think it's
interesting.
like our culture type thing."
Yeah. Because I was going to say in the States, there was, in my feeling of it, I mean, I'm from Australia, we had a sort of different
Oh yeah.
history with RPGs.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it sort of loosely followed the UK, probably. But I
Okay,
was going to say, in the States, my feeling is that there was sort of more knowledge around it, particularly amongst pimply white boys, I assume, in high school.
Yes,
in the 70s
yes,
and 80s.
I think so.
And then those people sort of started growing up, and there was a bit of a gap then when they were entering the workforce and this kind of stuff. I mean, I get this not from any sort of reliable source other than just from the stories I've heard interviewing people now. So it's a feeling type thing.
Yeah.
But and then this whole resurgence now, a lot of these people who started out in the early days who are having kids now, or the kids are growing up a little bit and
Yeah.
they maybe have a bit more time and they're introducing the kids to it and all this kind of thing. But I guess a lot of that is more of a white culture thing as well, maybe.
I think so. I think
Or the
it's
nerd
like,
culture
it started
in general,
off.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I think it's like white nerd culture, and I mean, actually very much so. If you look at like the creators and the founders of it and what they based it off
yeah.
of, which was like J.R.R. Tolkien's work, which is like very white.
Yeah.
I mean, but I still love it and appreciate it for what it is. But yeah, I don't think my culture was like the target audience, and we're still out there, we're still growing, but we're still very much a niche within a niche. So yeah.
Yeah, and then just to dig into infinitely niches,
Uh-huh.
you went out and you discovered solo RPG.
Yes.
How did that bit
That's
happen?
crazy. I was going through a time actually last year, I believe around August, September, I had lost my dog, and
Oh.
it was very, very hard. Like it was very hard, and so I needed time away from the social aspect of TTRPGs, but I still like wanted to be a part of it. Like I was like, how can I still be in it? But I don't really have the bandwidth to like turn on. You kind of have to like turn. You know what I mean by like turn
It's
yourself
performance, right?
on. Yeah. It's like
To a certain extent.
yeah. I realized I did say the phrase turn yourself on.
That's
It's
okay.
not say.
That's all right.
What I mean is, you have to just like, you are yourself, but you have to be like, it's not a performance in a sense, but you have to be more than yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll find the right phrase later, but I couldn't really do that, just like emotionally and mentally. But then I have always heard of solo games, but I always thought, oh, those are like, I want to play with people. I like the social aspect. I won't do that. It sounds boring. But then I was going through that kind of rough time, so I tried it out, and it was very soothing, I would say. There's specific solo games about dealing with grief, and there's like a very specific one about pets. So I got that one, and it's like a journaling game, and you just kind of write every day, and that was very sweet as well. And then going from there, I was like, oh, I don't really like journaling games. So it's like, it's kind of like, I find out pretty quickly what I like and don't like with group games. And then solo games, I tried out 1,000-Year-Old Vampire, and I was like, oh, I don't really like writing. It did feel like homework. And so I was like, okay, what else is out there? Okay, these are too crunchy. So yeah, like in one of my videos, it's truly the Goldilocks story of like trying to find the right thing. And then since September, I have tried probably 15 solo games so far.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
I think, stepping back, we talk about this. I feel like I talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to hear you say that, and I think important that you said you tried something out and then very quickly started to learn what you liked and what you didn't like, and then kept sort of looking for more. And I feel like a lot of people can fall into the trap of, this solo thing is really interesting to me, but I don't know what it is. And then sort of try something and hit a wall, or worse, consume a lot of content and be too nervous to actually, or something holding them back from sitting down and actually starting. Yeah. And so I've been talking a lot about, and I talk a lot about it on Reddit and whatnot when questions come up, but treat your first few games as a tutorial to what kind of solo role player you are.
Oh, exactly.
Because it is so broad, and you do need to just try things. I mean, it's almost impossible to describe to someone even what the hobby is until they actually try it themselves, right?
Yeah.
So could you talk a little bit more about that journey from trying solo journaling games, and then sort of how you started evolving from there, or learning about what sort of solo role player you were?
So I think my very first game was, his name is Caesar Kapakli.
Yeah,
or
I've had him on the show.
Yeah. I tried his game.
Keza.
It's Kezar. Is that how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's one where you get exiled. I forgot the name. Oh, I feel bad because I did message him on Blue Sky and I was like, "Hey, yours was the first I tried," and he was like, "Awesome." Cool. I want to find the name, but yeah. So I played that first, and that one is a lot more. It's a lot less procedural in what I like now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was finding that I had to come up with more of the story on my own. And I always find that to be more taxing on me mentally.
Mm-hmm.
When I play solo, I want to make up less. I want more tables to help me out with that. So in the end, I'm not sure if I finished it, but I think it's a good start, is what I would say. So
It's
I
not
started
against the
there.
wind, is it?
No, no. It's Kezar is such a cool way to say that too.
Keza Kapakle, yeah. I edit stuff, so you can totally look it up.
Okay, thank you. I will try. I do want to look it up because I feel bad.
Everspark? No.
Here it is. The Outcast.
Well, that sounds about right.
Yeah, there we go. A game of reputation and redemption. So basically, your character's been ostracized by their community, by a mistake that they made, and then you embark on a journey fulfilling missions to try and restore your reputation. So the game is about that. So it has a few oracles, it has some generators, but it's very rules light. And so at the end of the day, it's very much you coming up with more of the story than the game doing that for you. So I found myself kind of, I didn't have any like critiques for it because I didn't know what I liked. I just knew that I kind of set it down gently. I was like, oh, you know, sometimes your best feedback is just you're looking back and you realize, oh, I only played that for 2 sessions. It must mean something. It means it didn't, like, versus a game I'm playing for 15 sessions. I obviously like this one more. So I just kind of set it aside gently. And then I heard about journaling games. So I tried out 1,000-Year-Old Vampire and a couple others, and I realized, oh, it's like a lot of prompts. This happens. Why? And I was like, I don't know why. I wanted to play a game. They don't feel like games to me. That's another conversation I had with people. They think they are games, and then I looked at the definition of a game. I'm like, I don't know.
Well, actually, in the Oxford Dictionary of...
Yeah, exactly. So they didn't really feel like games to me, and I wanted to play a game. And then I heard of the phrase roguelike, and I was like, what's roguelike? What's that? And then I heard the phrase like hex crawl and dungeon crawl and procedural, and I was like, okay, so what's this? And then I found Miru. So that was the first one that kind of kickstarted like my brain working into like, oh, this is what you like. Because Miru was like, procedure, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, follow those steps. A story starts to generate, and you have fun, and then you can upgrade your character. You get more stuff. You go loot. You die early on very quickly. It's brutal out there. And then so after Miru, I started to realize, oh, I like this style of play more. Okay, what else is out there? I'm someone who will go search more.
Yeah.
I know you were saying like some people will just stay. I'm just a curious person. So it's just naturally I want to know, okay, what else? What else could I like? Would I like D100 Space? I tried D100 Space. No.
Not your thing.
No. It is very much like spaceship manager accountant the game. And I'm like, oh, it's like it's literally all about like you're an accountant for a spaceship. And I guess that could be fun for some people. I was like, whoa, no. And then there's
You
like
said-
5 parsecs from home, and that was like wargaming.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? War skirmish.
War game.
And I was
skirmish,
like, yeah, I was like, that's not for me either. So it's good to find out what you don't like, because it actually does very much inform what you're going to choose in the future.
I think that's a really important angle as well. Find out what you don't like, and give yourself permission not to like things.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that, this hobby's not for me. I'm really sad because I thought it was going to be for me and it's not. There's so many different things out there and different styles. And as is the next thing I wanted to get into a little bit.
Yeah.
Something that is getting close, but you would like to be a little bit different, you can just hack into it a little bit. And I noticed very early, I mean, when I first, the first episode of yours I listened to was...
Yeah.
I think it was Calarath, and really only like not long ago, a few weeks ago even.
Yeah.
We got this interview happening much quicker than I usually do. And immediately, and I sort of, my eyebrow raised a little bit because I thought, I heard you say, oh yeah, and I've added this house rule of mine. I'm going to do this like doom die sort of thing where, things get harder, and I'm going to like include this a little bit as well. And I sort of, because I didn't know at that point what your experience was with Calarath or other solo role-playing games or just role-playing games in general, that sort of thing. I think it was the first episode. And then like 20 minutes into the episode, you're like, no, that mechanic doesn't work. I'm just going to sort of drop that out or something. But that was, and I thought, right, exactly. So you're actually hacking things before even playing yet. Which is a really which is a really interesting angle, and like being brave enough to sort of do that, I think is really cool, really interesting. How does that happen in your head? What's the process of you picking up a new game?
Calarath is still fun. I think I'll read the rules and I'll go through it and I go, this could be a little bit harder before I start playing, or this could work. And then this is why playtesting is very important. So then I have the rule and I add it in while I play. And then if it works, and then I keep it. Or if it doesn't work, I, put it in the trash and maybe tweak it or just not use it at all. I think it's okay. I'm not married to any idea. I think it's okay to keep everything malleable.
Yeah.
Keep everything flexible and keep it moving. I'm all about keeping the momentum up. So if it's slowing me down, or if I'm taking 10 to 20 minutes to like look up a rule or all that good stuff, putting it to the side immediately.
Yeah. And is that part of the fun for you when you're reading a book or reading a game, and sort of like imagining what it's going to be like and imagining how you might like stuff better? Or that just sort of happens?
I think it just sort of happens. Ideally, the game brings everything that I have ever wanted.
Yeah.
But as we know, I don't know if there's any game where someone's like, I love 100% of it and I won't change anything ever. Like my most favorite game, I still have some critiques for it. Like I don't have anything that's like 100% perfect. And so I'll go into most games eventually finding something that I'll tweak or I'll make an add-on. Ideally, the game meets me like 90% of the way, and then I could just make some tweaks here and there. I definitely don't want to go into a system and make up my own rules just to have fun. I want to add on like some light stuff here and there that kind of like supplemental, but I want the core system to be the one that's grabbing me and not my own rules. And so ideally, yeah. So I think it just happens naturally. If I find something that just doesn't work, I'm very easy to be like, oh, I don't want to die. I'm gonna give myself 5 hit points. Like I'm gonna give myself 5 health.
Yeah.
It's all about you're playing solo. Like you only have to satisfy yourself. So I don't feel like you're being judged by yourself. Like don't judge yourself, I guess, because there's only you.
Except I think, especially early on, the solo role players are incredibly judgmental and harsh on themselves from a lot of the stories that I hear from people,
Yeah.
And really hammering down on yourself like, oh, I shouldn't go too easy on myself. I guess I'm dead again,
Yeah, no, I played a lot so at this point, and I found myself going, oh, is this fair? I'm playing by myself. I want to have fun. Is this going to
Yeah.
be fun or not? Yes or no? That's the question I ask. Is this going to be fun? And if it's not, then I let it go. Because
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Exactly. Yeah, for me, is this going to be fun, or does that sound like a cool story also?
Is this a cool
another
story
angle I
beat?
take.
Oh, that's in my group games, that is a question I have a lot. In solo, because I make a lot of actual plays, but in solo play, I think that if you're having fun, people will be down to listen. Um, I think that's why the question of, oh, is this good story beat? I think that's why it doesn't come to. That's for me. I think that's why it doesn't come to mind.
Sure. Yeah, and actually that makes me question myself a little bit, because I wasn't thinking about, is this good content, but rather, do I think that's a cool story? I mean, I love stories, I love reading, I love books, that kind of thing.
Oh, I
And
see. I
so
see.
I'm
Okay,
thinking,
I gotcha.
like, if I read that, would I think that was cool? You know?
Oh, I get you. Okay, so in that case, because I mainly make actual play content, the question of, okay, I think we have to make that clear then. Is this good content versus is this a good story beat for myself?
Mm,
And so you're saying, is this a good story beat just for the story that I'm playing in right now, right?
that's what I was saying.
Okay, gotcha. I thought you were saying, is this good content for the audience? Do you think
Which is
about that?
also, well, that is also, I do. And that
Okay.
is also important, and something that, I mean, we have in common then, because we are both not just players, but also content creators, right? And
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of doing things that you like, and then other people who are going to like it will then like it anyway, and not doing things because you think other people are going to like it, right? When it comes to creating art
true.
or
Yeah.
music or content or whatever it happens to be, I'm a believer in that. But you also, or at least I can't help a little bit but be in that performative mode, like we touched on earlier. And even if I'm GMing,
Yes,
for
yeah.
example, and I guess when I have the microphone in front of me, there is a certain element of performativeness in there, because you do know you have an audience.
Yeah. That's true. There's I don't know. I don't think I'll ever be like the cameras are off. Like when I'm playing, it's mostly me, but it's not 100% me. It's like when I press record, it's not 100% me.
Yeah.
Like you do have to be like get into like my I'll record something and then I'll send it to my family and they'll be like, "Oh, that doesn't sound like you." Or they're like, "I know it's you, but it doesn't sound like you." And I'm like, "What are you talking
Interesting.
about?" But there's like a not announcer voice, but there's something where it's like, yeah, that's like it's you, but it's a little bit more polished,
Yeah.
a little bit more enunciated.
Sure.
So there's that side of things. But when I was playing Miru 1, I didn't record it, and I just found myself like just saying out loud my thoughts anyway, and that made me think, oh, I guess I could record this, and people can watch along and see how it goes.
Yeah. This brings us back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the episode in the green room.
Yeah.
Which is, you asked me why I reached out to you in the first place.
Yes.
And what
I
was it
was
about your
interested.
content
Yeah.
that piqued my interest in talking to you about this stuff. And I feel like when I heard your play style, it really resonated a lot with my own.
Yeah.
And hearing about it now, even more from the actual history of it as well. Miro was my first game as well, or one of the two.
Yeah.
I'm not actually sure. I got Miru and Glide. Do you know
Glide. I'm going to. I'm backing the Glide Part 2.
Is there a new one?
Yeah. It's on Kickstarter right now.
Oh man. Okay.
Or BackerKit, one of them. But
Pause.
I have Glide Part 1, but then I heard that he's updating it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna hold off for Part 2 or V2 version 2.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Good. Glide Part 2 Kickstarter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I never did the journaling route. Actually, I missed all of them, which I'm kind of glad for.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's my thing. I barely like writing any sort of notes while I'm playing, which is why I'm recording. Mostly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had that similar sort of experience. I was playing Miru or Glide or both. Can't remember which. They happened around the same time. And that procedural part of it was really engaging to me. I really liked that. But I also quite quickly felt constrained by the walls of the systems as well, and I wanted more possibility and more space for my own ideas to play into the story,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than feeling like I was trying to fill these ideas within a smaller room or something like that. But when I hear you play, and that's sort of how I started, and like you just said, my first real session, I started playing Fallout 2D20, which is a big normal RPG. And I decided I didn't want to write notes, so I thought I'm just going to put my phone down on the table. And my listeners know this. I'll probably cut this out. This is just for you. But I put my phone down on the table and hit voice memos, record, and just started speaking out loud as I played this game. Complete open, complete sandbox.
Can I say I did the same thing?
Did you?
Oh my God. Okay, we're becoming more alike.
What was your experience doing that?
That I did for Miru 1, I had my phone and I have an Android. And so my voice recording feature, it will turn it into a transcript and then I can upload, and then I could upload it to Google Doc and turn it into a Google Doc. And so that's how I took my notes.
This is exactly what I do, but it came a little bit later. I've only started doing that recently because I have so many concurrent stories going at the moment from so many games.
You have to.
That now I just throw my transcript at the internet and say, make notes from this.
Make stuff.
Make stuff that I can actually remember and follow.
I don't like the journal, but I do take quick notes. Like I do jot down like, okay, went to hex 24, just so, because if it's not written down or it's out of sight, out of mind for me. I've literally had a moment where 5 seconds later, I forgot what number I rolled while I was in combat. I was like, wait, was that a... And I just
you're
rolled
72,
it.
okay? Like,
Yeah,
you're doing pretty well with the memory, and even
You're right.
uploading something to the internet, you're doing incredible.
You're right. It's I'm a millennial in a 72-year-old body.
Yeah.
So it's a very Benjamin Button type situation we got going on over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to write it down. I do take it's more like notations kind of. So while I'm playing, I will note down what hex I went to, who I just fought, what loot I got, and then organize it all at the end for like a quick summary. But
yeah,
that's about it.
Yes, that's actually, I've started doing that as well. When I'm not recording, I mean, mostly I'm recording, but the occasional times I've done some Forbidden Lands stuff, not recording, which was a heap of fun. I've done a lot recording as well. But that's
Forbidden
where
Lands solo is on my list. So.
Yeah, and actually, Forbidden Lands is the first game, you mentioned that to me earlier that you were interested in it, and that's the first game that felt like a full RPG that had processes, or procedures rather, that I could really hang on to. And that was the first time I sort of realized I really like this procedure thing to connect the imaginative story stuff.
Yeah. The wider story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not even the wider story, but just the moment-to-moment imagination stuff. Because for me, that's one of the magical things about it, right? You say you like having lots of tables. I love and need tables because for me, half of the fun is rolling something, asking a question, not knowing what is happening to my character or my story or my scene, rolling up a couple of things, and then my brain going, oh, that's cool. And it's a brand new idea that I wouldn't have had I not looked at that table, And to me, that's half of the excitement.
Yeah. I mean, I love that the dice are part of the story. No matter which game I'm playing. I love that randomness. And it usually comes when I'm playing in a group setting. The randomness comes from the players, but I don't have players and it's just me. So who's going to replace that? And that's why I really need those tables. So love it. I love a table. Solo gaming has leaked into my other style of play, and I just love tables now.
Oh, so you GM now? Yeah, that's an interesting point. I've talked to a few people about how solo roleplay can be a tool to improve their GM. Most significantly, and who praised it the most is, if you know Mike Shea.
Yeah.
So he was saying that's what has gotten him interested in solo gaming, and he's doing it more and more now. And just saying that it's such an incredible tool for teaching you to be a better GM because it forces you, or teaches you rather, how to improvise and imagine stuff and be open and go with the flow from the randomness that's coming with your players.
Yeah. I would say so.
You've had that experience as well in your GMing?
Have I had that experience? Well, I haven't been. I feel like it sounds like I've been doing solo for a long time. I've only been doing solo for like 5 or 6 months.
I mean, you've
Has
done
it been
15
leaking into?
games. That's, that's more than a lot of people do in years.
I know. I was just told that a couple of days ago. Has it leaked into my GMing style? Most likely. I haven't made any like conscious thoughts or notes about it, but I'm pretty sure it has. I love. It has taught me about like collaborative like world building. It's probably the biggest one, the biggest influence of like Starforged and Ironsworn has really good tables for world building. And so I've brought that into group games, and the investment from everybody now that we're playing together is astronomical. So that's one of the big ones.
Having a great time jumping all over the place here. But jump back a little bit.
Oh yeah, we keep.
But this is good.
This is what a good conversation will do.
Exactly. This is why it's chatty and
okay.
not
Go back to
interviewing.
telling me why you love all my stuff.
Exactly. And it is because the way that I hear you learn a game while playing is something that I do as well. That was, for me, a huge, freeing and game-changing moment for me. And I was talking to... I feel like I'm name dropping all the time here. That's not my intention. It's just I learn everything from all the guests that I have. That's one of the reasons I do this. But are you familiar with Mythic? Have you used Mythic?
Not yet, but I do. I have the PDF.
Okay. But I was talking to Tana, the author of Mythic, and she said that you can use Mythic to just fudge any rules that you're not interested in or don't yet know. And when she said that, a light went off on my brain, and I thought, that means I can just play these books on my shelf without having to sit down and actually learn them first, which was an incredibly freeing moment for me. And that was, again, another reason that this podcast kept going, is because I can just pull books off my shelf and just play them. And that's been something that has been a response that I get a lot, is people saying, I feel like you gave me the permission to just play all these games that I have because I don't actually need to know them. And I heard that style in your sessions as well.
Yeah, I think it's so important to have that mindset, because I like trying a lot of systems. There's no way I would be able to try as many as I want if I had to sit down and read through all of them 100%. I will read like what's like the core themes, what's the core premise. Okay, and then I'll it's kind of like it will be skimming, and I'll be reading, I'll be skimming. Okay, so how does character creation work? But I'm not spending like weeks reading before I actually play. I like to learn through play, and then I will speak out loud what's confusing to me, what's not working, what is heavily working, and I'll go from there. The first few play sessions will obviously have some mistakes, but then the more that you play, you start getting the hang of the procedure, and you start getting more comfortable with it. But yeah, you don't have to wait to play a game.
And like you say, what is a mistake if you are your audience?
I know.
And
true.
If it's fun, and if the memory in your head of the cool story and the cool things that happen in the exciting moments, it's not important whether one of the rules was wrong, right?
Exactly. You only have to think about yourself. I think we want to stress that. You only have to make it's for you. You need to have fun.
Yeah.
It's okay if you flub a rule, or it's okay if you give yourself advantage or give yourself another die or something. It's okay.
And I do think people can have a problem with that getting started, is that it's almost letting go in a way that this is okay, that I'm just doing this for me. I feel people sometimes have an issue with that.
What do you think that is? Do people think it's like selfish? Because this is not about TRPGs, but I've talked to my mom before. I've had conversations where I'd be like, it's okay to take like brain breaks and take days off just for yourself. It's okay to tell people, I know I had this meeting planned, but I need a break. And it's okay to think about your mental health and self-care. And then she was like, yeah, I know, but it's like, it kind of feels selfish. And I was like, it's okay to be selfish in certain areas. Like, you're not hurting anybody. You're actually taking care of yourself. So that's why I think, same thing with TTRPGs.
Yeah, I think it is absolutely a common thing in and outside of TTRPGs is people struggling to give themselves permission to take time for themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. I guess it is freeing. I guess maybe that type of freedom can be uncomfortable. Of being like, oh, I'm jumping into the unknown. this feels weird, or it's like, but I'm safe inside of all the rules can feel like a blanket, like a security blanket,
Yeah.
and maybe that's part of it.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, the rules are key, of course, because otherwise we can all sit down and smoke a pipe and imagine a story, of hobbits
Yeah,
and
you're right,
whatever
you're right.
else. And that's cool. I mean, I spent plenty of maths classes doing that. Less pipe
There you go.
and more
Less
story.
pipe.
But yeah, those rules, they not only add what's the word I'm looking for?
Like structure?
Yeah, structure, but also restriction in a way. Like you do have to at least pretend to play inside the lines a little bit.
Sure, yeah.
And that limitation is the word I'm looking for,
Yeah.
And limitation.
I think, yeah. I would say, I'm not saying like forego the rules at all, but I'm just saying like leave room for the possibility of being like flexible. If you need to tweak something, that's fine. But I always go in wanting to play by the rules. And then if something's not fun, I'll be like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Sure.
And it's just that easy.
And the dice being a character, the dice being part of the game is important, like you said, because you need something to challenge your ideas, right? You need something to push back against you and force your brain in a different direction. That's really important.
That's true. Have you had this issue where I'm just lucky with my rolls, just in general. I was blessed by the dice gods. But
Must be nice.
in solo games, it's a double-edged sword because I also roll for the enemies. And you know what? They roll really well.
Yeah.
So there's that side of it too.
Now you know how your players feel.
Yep. Exactly.
Speaking of mechanics, with your 15 or so solo game experiences in the last 6 months, how has your journey of mechanics appreciation gone? Do you have certain favorite mechanics or mechanics that keep coming up as things you really like?
Yes, I love a challenge die. I love something where it's like you roll for yourself, but then you also roll for the enemy. And I found that was in Befallen, which is a game that I like as well, and Astro Prisma. Befallen is great, but yeah, you roll. You're like, okay, so it's a D10 versus a D10, something like that, for example. And then you roll the challenge die. Let's say it's like the color red, so I'll roll red. The red D10 is for the enemy, and then I roll, and then that's the number I have to beat. So I love to go against something. And then I really like randomized tables for enemies, like a D6 table or a D10, so that when it's their turn to hit, I'll roll to see like what action they're going to take this time. And it's not static. I love that mechanic so much. Because enemies can just do the same thing. Okay, well, he's going to try to bite me. But if they have a table, like different tiers of stuff that they can do, and it's like all creative, I love that.
Yeah,
I love it.
I've been nearly designing or stealing and copying this one table, which I use a lot. I don't know if you've played Dragonbane or come across Dragonbane.
I know of Dragonbane by Free League, but have I played a game? Maybe a one-shot. Maybe a one-shot.
So Dragonbane has built-in solo rules, which are quite different to anything else I've played, actually. It's called Alone in Deepfall Breach. Really cool.
Oh, okay.
One of the early experience of mine. Also by Sean Tompkin, of course.
He's amazing.
It's safe to say Sean is amazing. Yeah. And something that it does is it gives you an NPC attack table. It's really simple. It's a D6 and it's just laid out to melee, ranged, defensive, or whatever it is. I think there's 4 categories, and then you have a 1 to 6 roll, and the tables are weighted. So the defensive, enemy is more likely to be defensive, and the ranged enemy is more likely to shoot at you, but sometimes might run at you.
There you go.
And those little bits of uncertainties, I find really it's so simple, but it can really just electrify your combat.
It does. And then I'll look at their stat block and I'll be like, oh my God, if I roll a 10, no, I'll say that out loud. I'm like, okay, you guys, I don't want to roll a 10 because it's probably like some type of OP ability that the enemy has where they could just like regenerate 2d6 plus their vigor or whatever. And be like, no. Yeah. So you're like, oh, it's so cool. Okay.
It's creating tension then, right? Tension before the dice roll, I think, is really important too,
Yes.
And But what really sort of can drag my sessions down a little bit, or at least my combat down, is when I get into a situation, I say, okay, I've had my action and I do this, and now the enemy does 2 things, and then I have to sit there and decide, what does the enemy do to my character now? You know,
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't
you're
want to
like,
just
"Oh."
roll a d20
Yeah.
or whatever it is to just see if they hit or not, because then I'm not picturing the combat anymore. I'm not creating a scene in my head.
Yes, yeah.
And that is why some of these tables, I think, are incredibly simple and effective and can really electrify your play. And I heard you say recently, I'm not sure which episode it was, I've listened to a few of yours now,
Okay.
is that you have started looking into ways where you don't have to GM yourself.
Yeah.
Is that a quote
Yeah.
from you? I think I wrote it down as an exact quote, and now I can't read my own handwriting. But you said you're starting to explore games where you don't feel like you're GMing yourself, right? You said it.
Yeah.
I have it in
Yeah.
quotation marks.
You got the receipts? Oh
I got the
no.
receipts. Yeah.
Okay,
no,
I
they're
can't lie.
faded.
It sounds like something I would say because I 100% agree with it. So
Okay.
yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you mean? If that is in fact something you said,
Yeah.
and I will get the audio, and I'm going to
If
insert
I
here
said it,
if I-
who knows? You could be lying. No, I'm kidding.
I will now. I have to go and find it and put it on tape. So
No, I probably said it. What do I mean by I don't want to GM myself? What I mean is that it's kind of like when you play Sudoku or Solitaire, there's not a lot of like mental pressure. You kind of just go in and you go play the game. It gives you the rules that you need and you follow them step by step and you generate like a really cool story. I want the tables to be that partner for me. I very much don't want to put too much mental energy into crafting the story, and I don't know how that comes across. I feel like some people really really love that, but that's not the fun part for me. I really like the randomness of what the dice and the tables are going to tell me, even if it's like very cool like oracle tables, and it's giving me like those subjects and the verbs and adjectives and stuff like that. So even that is helpful. So that's what I mean by I want the game to be that GM for me by what it's providing.
to be clear, you are still creating the stories in your head, right? It's just that you
Yeah.
want something to constantly push you forward, push your brain forward in that stuff. Is that what you
Exactly.
mean?
Exactly. Yeah. So like, we were in a Starforged game, and Starforged is known for its solo, but we played co-op. And when you have someone else, you can bounce your ideas off of them. And that's super, super helpful. So you guys are going back and forth, creating this world together, and it's building all out. But when you're by yourself, you don't have someone to bounce ideas off of. You have the tables that are provided in the book. And if there's not a lot of tables, it's harder to... So now I really got it. That's why journaling games never really worked for me, because there is no... It's just a prompt and you have to birth everything yourself. And so
Yeah.
I really like that the tables, I'll just roll and then I can go from there, and it immediately sparks an idea for me. So I'm not saying I want to play like an adventure, like they're called a choose your own game or choose your own.
Or a game book.
Yeah. I'm not saying I want to do a game book, but I just need those tables to help spark at least some type of initial idea.
Yeah.
And that helps. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, that's what came up. Oh my God, it would fit perfectly this way. And then we continue on by all the tables that I get. Does that make sense?
It absolutely does make sense.
Okay.
I feel exactly the same way. And that's
Yeah.
what I was talking about Forbidden Lands as well, where I could, having that structure in there. And in fact, Starforged, I haven't played Ironsworn, but Starforged does have that as well. It has a clear set of procedure, although I have not yet been able to quite dig into that procedure yet.
It actually surprisingly doesn't have like a solid procedure that works for me solo.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Because there is a flow chart.
I mean, yeah, I think those games shine in co-op. But I tried solo and it just wasn't working out. It was still too open for me, too open.
Yeah.
So solo in those games aren't my style, unfortunately.
I must try Starforged co-op. Co-op is great as well.
I love
whole
co-op.
other story. I'm new
Yeah,
to co-op, but it's been really fun. But I was
Co-op
going to
is
say
awesome.
about Forbidden Lands is
Yeah.
I found out then that when I was doing my normal solo play stuff, and they have a solo rules and a normal sort of oracle and stuff in there as well. But if ever in doubt, you can just go back to the procedure, because the procedure is a daily thing. And you're like, at the start of the day,
There you go.
roll the weather, move the hex, eat the food, whatever it happens to be, roll for an encounter. And then like it's constantly sort of driving you forward. And you're like, okay, well, I don't really know what I'm doing, but hang on, there's a cool encounter and that's a cave. And maybe I'll go,
Exactly.
and it sort of, as soon as you start to feel your wheels slowing down a little bit, it sort of continues to push you forward.
I 100% agree. That's why I really love a good procedure.
And so my question about a good procedure is, have you found yourself, or have you had any experience with some of the more OSR style games?
Is Dolmenwood considered OSR or is it OS?
Yes, Dolmenwood is absolutely one of the key.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm currently doing Dolmenwood, but it doesn't have solo rules. So I'm using Scarlet Heroes as like an attachment to play solo. But how am I finding it? I like OSR. I just found out about this movement last year, like OSR and NSR, and I really love it. I feel like it came from like the 80s, right? It's like an old school type of play. I very much love that style of play. I think it brings out a lot of creativity out of the GM, out of the player. It kind of forces you because it's not too handholdy, I guess. If that's the word. But it gives you just enough, and it forces you to be creative. You're like, okay, I don't have much, so how can I use this flask of oil right now? Okay, because that's all I have, and so I really like it for that type of stuff.
Which is the polar opposite to something like Pathfinder or 5e,
Oh, 100%, 100%.
And the reason I asked is because that's exactly I've only started, but the last 12 months or so, getting into some OSR stuff. Dolmenwood is, I think, could be my favorite game ever.
Really?
Outside of Fallout. Fallout doesn't count. That lives on another plane.
But
Dolmenwood absolutely is a candidate for that. And since playing Dolmenwood, I've just picked up and started playing off mic OSE, which is essentially the same. I mean, it's the same. Dolmenwood is an adaptation of OSE, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
But that combination of having quite a lot of space between things and openness, and you being forced to come up with it, but then also having a very clear procedure to have to come back to. And I've been struggling a little bit with the procedure because I'm not used to being so meticulous about anything. I do everything by feel and just go off and, play in the sandbox. But I have been finding that as I lean more into that, has been really changing my play style and really enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, Dolmenwood already has a solid, like, hex crawl procedure.
Yeah.
And it's not too crunchy. I think it's like right at the level where I would be like, if there's any more crunch, I wouldn't like it. Because it's like you already have to there's travel points, right? Based on your weight, and then you have to divide it by 5. That's how many points you could spend throughout the day. And then there's a procedure for everything, for fishing, for sleeping, for camping.
I haven't been fishing yet. I must go fishing.
There's a lot. It's just right at the edge of me, like, okay, this might be a little bit too much. It's like right at my edge of where I'm comfortable with. So it's like, I feel like it's a prime candidate for solo play. So I'm surprised there's not like official solo rules.
Me too.
But, yeah.
And especially with the hex crawl stuff in the campaign book, there is so much. I find it amazing for solo.
Oh, the campaign book is crazy. Like, it's loaded.
You never run out of an
stuff.
idea. Just go into a new hex. There's 2 pages of shit you can do there,
Yeah. You could play for years with this stuff. And these books, I'm looking at the books right now. Together, they all weigh like 30 pounds. It's they're all freaking heavy. But there's so much. You could play for years. Yeah. You have the books?
I do. I got them from Kickstarter, and I just adore them. And in fact, I backed them before I even started. Before I even knew solo was a thing. I was just hopeful that one day I could play these things.
Okay. You know that I got mine for free. I won them in a raffle.
Really? In a raffle? Awesome.
In a contest. Like, I feel very fortunate because they cost they're quite expensive. So I was like, wow. And then they were shipped. So I was like, I have to play now. I got them for free.
You did very well. A sign from the dice gods.
Oh, yep.
I did want to talk a little bit, and there's so many things we haven't got to talk about yet. We might have to do this again. But I want to ask you about Scarlet
Yes.
Heroes and hacking into
Yeah.
Dolmenwood.
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to do that?
Mm-hmm.
What does it entail?
Mm.
And how has it been going?
I think it's been going well. Scarlet Heroes has some very solid solo mechanics, and the author, he is very wise. I think he is it the same guy who wrote Stars Without, like Worlds Without Numbers, I
It
think.
could well be. I'm not up on my
Oh,
research ever.
can I look him up real quick? You can
Please
cut this
do.
out.
I've had the PDF for like 2 years and looked at it for the first time yesterday after hearing you.
Yeah, his name is Kevin Crawford. I think he's created a lot, and he's very, very popular. Like his mechanics are just like, they're very good. I don't know. He has something. He's got it, kid.
Yeah.
Yes, no, he's also known for Stars Without Numbers and Worlds Without Numbers. And those books are always, always recommended for like world building, like all of his stuff, because he has really, really good tables, really creative ideas. So I decided to use Scarlet Heroes because that's on Reddit. People were like, I want to solo this. And they're like, yeah, use Scarlet Heroes as like the under or the overlay for the rules because it has really good solo rules. And I love Dolmenwood, and it has a lot of tables already that you would think, oh, this would be super easy for solo play. And it does because it has the procedure already. So I'm using the procedure of Dolmenwood. I'm using the mechanics, role resolution mechanics of Scarlet Heroes because Dolmenwood still doesn't have rules for a solo. It's still made for a group.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't purely use Dolmenwood and just go from there.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Mostly you're using it as I made a note of this yesterday,
It's
like solo survivability.
Yeah,
rules,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's and mostly because like the lore is really cool, and every place that you go to and the setting, just playing in the setting is really, really cool. And then so then Scarlet Heroes has it, that's how I can play it solo, and I just won't die immediately playing with one lone character.
Which of the rules specifically do you find enables you to do that with Scarlet Heroes?
One of them is probably there's something called a fray die that you can roll against minions, and it happens no matter what, whether you hit or not. And so it kind of replaces the other players that would be at the table. Kind of helps you kind of cleave through enemies a little bit quicker. He has a different way to calculate damage. And so you just go by their hit die. So if an enemy has like 8d8 hit die, right, and it makes 64 hit points, you're just using the 8 from the hit die. So now it's just 8 points that you have to go against.
Oh, that's how it works. I misunderstood that. I thought it was 1 point because it was one hit die, and I thought that's going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, if they have one hit die, they're very easy to just cleave through.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so that is correct. Sorry.
Yeah. And then there's a table where if you then you roll for damage. And if your damage is if you roll a 1, no damage. If you roll like a 2 through 5, 2 damage. 7 through 8 or up, it's 3 damage, something like that. And so that's what you're rolling against their hit die. So we're not dealing with a whole bunch of hit points or stuff like that. So I think that speeds it up. And then I'm still because I have to have Dolmenwood and Scarlet Heroes both in my head, so I'm still learning both at the same time. So I'm still early on, but those are the main mechanics I think that help, and just the way that you build out your character. You get you're a little bit beefier, as a fighter, and he gives you a little bit more stuff so that you can survive and all that. Yeah.
This is totally a whole other conversation. I was looking through after hearing you talk about Scarlet Heroes. I finally looked it up. I had some time at work yesterday. Finally looked it up, and some of those things really sparked ideas of what cannot be great in combat and stuff when you're just rolling against each other and missing all the time, and no one's doing damage to anyone, or it's taking a long time to bring someone down. And again, if they don't have like a reaction table or a moves or something, then it can just feel like a bit of a slug. And that seems like one idea that could really help with that.
Yeah, I'm always trying to get through. I like combat, but I'm not trying to stay in it for like more than 15 to 20 minutes, no matter how much I like it. So I like Scarlet Heroes, but of course, nothing is perfect. It would be cool if there were no to hit rolls, but there's still like I just want to do damage and get out of there. I love that's what I love about OSR and NSR games. A lot of the time, it's like you're not rolling to hit anymore, and you're just doing damage. I love it because I want to speed through combat.
Yeah.
So I wish that was there, but you still have to roll to hit and then do damage.
I mean, you could just take the roll to hit away as well. Like I think it works pretty easily. No.
You know what? You're right. You know what?
Try it.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what?
I mean,
look at us.
We've been over in our Discord. We've been talking a lot about this. People have been into a game called Nimble, if you've heard of that, which is.
Are you kidding? I'm the one that has the most actual play episodes for Nimble on YouTube right now.
Really?
I have over 30 played like actual play sessions of Nimble.
Wow.
With my group.
Missed that. Oh, this is your group game stuff.
Yeah. I thought that's why you're kidding. You're like,
no.
So there's this game called Nimble, and I'm like,
sorry,
he doesn't know.
It was new to me. I found out about it recently because of people on the Discord, because I've never really played D&D. And people on the Discord said it's like D&D, but you just roll damage.
Yes, listen, taking out to hit rolls has saved my combat life. Combat has always been the bane of my existence with all games in every sphere. It's not, people think that I hate combat. And when they talk to me, they're like, you don't like combat, right? I'm like, I do like it when it's like cinematic and fun and fast. Mm-hmm. And cinematic so, I haven't found a lot of systems that can do it. But like City of Mist does it well. Nimble does it well because you get cool things that you could do. You get your 3 action points, and it's just really fun. But yeah, so what was your point on Nimble?
Just that you have you heard of this cool game called Nimble where you just roll damage dice?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Because I hadn't, and it's currently on Kickstarter, the next edition.
Yes, I know about that too. Are you going to try it?
I am. I think I am. Okay. Although I don't know, I don't think I'm ready to let the hit roll dice die.
Well, yeah. What's your connection to it?
I don't know. I want to roll. I want to roll a d20, and I want to roll under a number. That's really what I want in life.
Okay.
For me, that's just the best thing to do. And so I've been scheming ways that I can keep combat going faster while still keeping my d20 roll. My current scheme, and this is rabbit hole. My current scheme is to roll your d20 roll as normal, but roll it alongside 2 of your damage dice. And if it hits, you take the higher damage, and if it misses, you take the lower damage, or something like that. Maybe if it hits, you take both dice as the damage, and if it misses, you take the lower. So it's similar to the fray die in that regard, then that it's sort of still chipping away, but it's
I like that. Cool. I was about to say, because I think that's a good idea, because I was going to say, so if you miss, you don't do any damage, and then the game just goes on longer. But no, it looks at you still are chipping away. I like that. I really like that.
I think there does need to be something that, or for me, something to give some excitement of a good roll. Like if you're rolling your 3d6 damage die, and you get 12 or 15, it's like, okay, that's better than 4, but you don't have that d20, like natural 20 or fail.
You want that
moment.
Hit of dopamine
exactly,
that d20 gets you.
I
think that hit comes from the random table. Because I don't need the to hit roll because it feels like a slog, but the excitement comes from like randomly rolling on the enemy table and not knowing what they're going to do.
Sure.
That's where it comes from.
Okay.
Me.
All right.
Yeah. For me, that's for me, but everybody's different.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time. There's so much more I want to talk about, and maybe we will have to do this again and be on the show. I feel like we've got lots to say. I do want to...
We got to do a Starforge co-op together.
Deal. It's done.
We have
booked
to.
in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe we play co-op games. We got a whole new podcast, everyone, announcing it now. Co-op games.
You see how this happens?
I know. It's constantly happening to me. Too many projects.
I'm serious though. I would love to play Starforge co-op with you. It would be so much fun.
I would love to do that because I'm in a tricky spot with Starforged. it could be the best game ever, and I really want to love it, and I'm struggling with it, even though I've played a good number of sessions.
Okay, yeah, we got to. Or we do like Sundered Isles or something. We want to be like pirates.
Yeah, excellent. Pirates are good. Just before we go, though, I just want to ask, just quickly, you have 30 seconds to answer this question. What are some games that you are excited to try?
Oh, excited to try in the future? Oh, this is hard. There's no solo games out there that I have seen. There's a lot of Kickstarters that are having like solo modes, so I'm excited for that. So like the Invincible RPG, which is a superhero RPG, those solo rules, excited for that. And then there's one called Twilight Sword.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm excited for that too. Those solo rules. Yeah. So yeah, and there's a Ghost in the Shell RPG that's gonna also have solo rules. So very excited for that.
Very cool. And can you tell us about the kinds of games that are coming up on your channel in the not too distant future?
Yeah. So more of Astro Prisma, and then soon it's going to be 2D6 Dungeon, because I forgot his name. Toby Lancaster, I believe. Yeah. So he reached out to me, and he was like, "Oh, can I send you my game?" And I was like, "Yeah, obviously, yes, please."
Cool.
And so I got that stuff in the mail a couple weeks ago. So that is going to be coming up at some point. I got to read through everything. But he sent me like some cool like monster cards or some dice, cool stuff in there. I'm excited to read through it and then see how it goes. See if I vibe with it. All that good stuff.
Awesome. And continuing with some of the other games as well, Dolmenwood, Blade Runner, what's sort of sticking in your head the most at the moment that you have been playing?
Honestly, Astro Prisma. It's it is, I've decided it is my favorite solo game so far ever. Love it. When I'm done with it, I will have a review for it, but it has seriously met me at that 90% mark. And it is amazing. But so that will be Astro Prisma, and then Dolmenwood. I'm finishing out Miru. Part 3, like its finale. So I'm playing through that and finishing that. So those are the big 3 up right now. And then I have like a long-term project that I just started. I'm doing like a Call of Cthulhu, like sleep tube video, because I get compliments a lot on my voice and how it sounds and things like that. So I thought
I want to
do something.
Sleep tube, but I think I know what it is now.
You know what I mean? Like those videos, it's like 8 to 11 hours long, and it's like ambiance or it's music or something that people just fall asleep to. And there is a very small niche of RPGs, like TTRPG sleep tube videos.
Wow.
And I listened to some, I was like, oh, this is relaxing.
The world is an amazing place.
Oh my God. So Call of Cthulhu has these solo games which are more like game books. And so it's a lot of reading through the prompts, and then it sends you to a different prompt, and then you roll and it teaches you how to play, but it's more reading. And so it's just me getting in like my audiobook bag, so that I'm just trying to make like a relaxing, like 8-hour long video, see how that goes.
Wow.
So it's kind of like a long-term video I have on in the background where I record every few days, and it's nice. It's very interesting.
What a wonderful idea. Maia, thank you so much for being on the show today. It was an absolute pleasure, and I really look forward to our Starforge playthrough and, of course, everything else that is coming up on your channel. I've been really enjoying the content. I think it's really great for people who have been into solo role-playing for a while, but also if you're getting started and you want to get a feel for what it can be like and give yourself permission to learn the rules at the table as you do, like Maia does. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.